Greetings, card fighters, and welcome to Premium 101, an introduction to Cardfight Vanguard's premium format. I'm Devlin Cassidy, aka The Scholar, and I'm here to help you start your premium format journey in the game of Cardfight Vanguard. I hope that this starter's guide for today's clan is very beneficial in having you figure out what deck you want to pick up when you decide to play premium. I hope that you find this video very informational and helpful, and hopefully have you start on your premium journey. Now we're going to take a look at Tachikaze, the big dino clan itself. We're going to take a look starting with the Gaia deck. So this deck actually is more of your control deck. You want to be drawing a bunch of cards with this deck. You want to be very resourceful mounting because you're trying to prolong the game to where you have barely any cards left in deck, and you have this stand trigger that if you have 3 copies of it, you can perform an infinite loop. And I'm going to explain kind of how you do this with Coel Magnum. You put this card on the bottom of your deck. When this unit is put into the drop zone from rearguard circle during each turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, you draw a card, choose up to one of your other units, and it gets 5k until the end of the turn, and then you shuffle your deck. So let's say you call a Coel Magnum with 1 card left in deck over another Coel Magnum. That Coel Magnum is going to go to the bottom of the deck. You're going to draw that card. You're going to shuffle the deck. Then you're going to call that Coel Magnum, another Coel Magnum over that under that Coel Magnum, and then you're going to draw a card, shuffle your deck, get another, you get 5,000 power. So what you can do with this loop is that you can give your board infinite power with Coel Magnum loop, and that's just something that's very, very strong. The benefit though to this deck is the ability to have actually Gaia's on stride, which I think this is actually one of the most powerful on stride effects that we have access to in premium. This is when a unit strides on top of this. You can counterblast 1, choose up to 2 cards from your hand, you call them to rearguard circle, and then you choose to 2 of your rearguards, and you get when this unit was retired from rearguard during this turn, you may call this card to rearguard circle until the end of turn. So this helps you live through this engorge mechanic, and you also play other cards in this deck that eat other rearguards to gain effects, such as Mega Rex, which is going to be retired another rearguard when it attacks a Vanguard. You can draw a card, but you can get to res that rearguard right back. And you have these utility value rearguards, such as Raven Patora, which lets you countercharge 1. You can call it back. This lets you get Freezer Nicks. You can countercharge 1, Soul Charge 1 if you have a Gaia Vanguard. The best one though is Little Tyranno. This is counterblast 1. Put this card into your soul when it's retired with the ability of the Gorge ability. You get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 cards with different card names from this card ability among them. You call them to rearguard circle. You put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So again, it's just more aggro, more calling units, more flooding the board. And again, too, you get to kill more rearguards off with the Terrathurizo. This deck is just chock full of good value. It looks really weird because of these ratios, but it actually kind of works. For the strides, the reason we play the old guy is to get those additional Excel markers off our history collection stride, and it gets the when this attack hits a Vanguard, you choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So you can give some pressure actually to the Arc Raider. Off of Arc Raider, you just get to give that to a rearguard, and so you get to eat a rearguard, get some ability off of it. Just a lot of good value overall, because then you're able to eat Little Tyranno and other things. And then again, we play the Honolulu because we want to prolong the game. In terms of G Guardians though, Bullish Primer is huge. This is going to get plus 5k for each of our own open circles. So if we're getting a bunch of Excels, ta-da, we got value. So this is very, very powerful. The premier stride for us is Gluttony Nemeros. This is Engorge. So you can eat 1 rearguard, have it become engorged, and then when it becomes engorged, you can choose up to 5 of your equip gauges, which is where you take the top card of your deck and you put it under a rearguard. This is the main V mechanic that Tachikaze got. So you can either eat 5 equip gauges and or rearguards, which then you can get those rearguards retired abilities, which is even crazier. And if you ate 5 or more, you get to restand him, and he doesn't lose drive checks. So overall, just really powerful. Nemeros is a crazy card. Arguably, I think the best stride that Tachi has access to. You also have access to Giganto Pharaoh, which can make all of your rearguards self-restand themselves if you have enough soul, which is why it's really important that we play the Paralauncher, so that way we can get the soul, because we'll have the Gaia Vanguard name, get to draw a card, all that good stuff. So you're able to compress your deck down super fast, and you're able to actually draw a bunch of cards if you play this correctly, because you're just able to eat so many between Terror and you're able to eat so many with like Mega Rex. Like there's just no reason why you shouldn't be drawing like so many cards a turn and just getting such like high value. Plus you play like 7 defensive draws. So you have more than plenty of opportunity to hit really good draw lines inside your deck. For a more traditional Tachikaze list though, this is kind of like the Anger Blade or like aggro deck. Or not Anger Blader, my apologies. This is Spino Driver. I'm thinking way old, but Spino Driver. When it attacks a Vanguard or is rode upon you, you can counterblast 1, retire 2 rear guards. You get an imaginary gift Excel, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to rear guard. Choose 2 of those units, and they get 5k until the end of the turn. So this is really cool because of a big thing. So you'll ride an Oxel generator, and you'll get another Oxel marker, so you get 3 Oxels. What happens if we get into Spino Driver Reverse? It's when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to rear guard, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for that unit 1 time. If you have a Spino Driver in your soul, you perform it 3 times instead. So you get to essentially like draw a bunch of your deck and fill the board. And this lets you be like a lot more aggressive. This gives you actual lines like from the Ancient Dragons. If you choose another rear guard with Ancient Dragon in its name, you retire it at the end of the battle. If you have a Vanguard with Spino in its name, you can stand this unit. So like this is an automatic like multi-attacker restander for you. You play the Savage Mercenary because this is a 27k beat stick, and as long as it has an equip gauge under it, it can attack. It's really, really good. Regiodon is more free value, so when you eat these rears and it has equip gauges under it, you can call cards from equip gauge under itself to rearguard circle. Just again, a lot of free value. Plays the shooter for the high value and stuff. Like there's just like no reason why you shouldn't be playing it like this. Again, too, you really lean into Nebros. Nebros is your main value engine inside Tachikaze. It's just very, very strong, just being able to restand. Again, Giganto Pharaoh for the multi-attacks. You also play Gaia Devastate, which Gaia Devastate is actually kind of like your out-to-link Joker, funny enough. When it becomes Engorge, you get to counterblast 1, and you flip a card with the same card name, face up in the G-Zone. You get to draw a card, choose up to any 2 circles other than Vanguard for each face-up card in your G-Zone. So if you have like locked 5, and you have 3 face-up in your G-Zone, you can choose all 5 of your circles, retire, get rid of those cards, and put them into the drop zone. And then if those cards are 3 or more, he gets +1. He gets plus 10k, plus a drive, and plus a crit. So he can threaten very hard on his own. So it's just very, very powerful. Good out to link Joker to actually gain some value. And you still get your retire effects if you just put him into the drop zone. So overall, 10 out of 10. This deck's very fun, very exciting. Shout out to Logan for providing me these lists. But I know him, Zach, and Card Dweeb are like cooking, trying to figure out how to make Tachi the best right now. And so like these are some really fun ways and innovative ways. And Tachi is actually a really cheap clan to get into, and it's super fun and enjoyable. So if you like little combo patterns and stuff, like this deck can be considered an aggro / combo deck because there's a bunch of different combo lines like you can do to extend into certain things because you want to either get like the infinite loop and stuff like that. So just again, a whole bunch of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy Tachikaze. Again, the deck logs are in the Google Doc down below. But now let's roll on in to Murakumo. And there you have it. Hopefully some of the deck ideas found here in this clan were very, very beneficial for you all, and so that way you guys can start your premium journey. If not, feel free to check out the other starters guides on this channel if you kind of have a rough idea of what clans you're looking into, or there's the entire video of where all of this was broken up from that you guys can feel free to put on the background and listen to as you guys can watch me ramble about decks. But I hope that this was very beneficial and that you guys continue along with me. Hopefully see you in the next lesson, and until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all later.
Stay with me.